Hello, I'm Harry Harkins, and today I'm going to be forging a blade using the Anyang power hammer. And I just really love the Anyang power hammer. The control of it is just amazing. So I'm going to forge out a blade today, and I'm not necessarily going to do it the best way or the correct way. I'm going to do it just the way that I do it. It works good for me, and it's also fast. I don't get to spend as much time as I'd like to in the forge, and this is one of the ways that I can speed my forge. This is a piece of steel that I'm going to start with this morning, and you'll notice that I've got a little bit of the edges cut off. This makes it a lot faster for forging to point out. The next thing I'll do is I will upset this bar. This bar has a rounded edge on both sides. So I'll upset that before I start forging. This makes it a lot easier when you start to profile the blade where you don't have as much steel to remove. One of the reasons that I want to upset this bar is because the bars have a rounded edge right here. And so if I upset that, then when you go to profile your blade, you don't have as much steel to take off, and it's a lot easier to profile. Okay, I try to have all my hammers and my tongs laid out before I ever start forging, before I ever start to fire on the forge. And it helps you when you get ready for a particular hammer, you'll have it in place. And this is the hammers that I'm going to use today. This hammer right here is a 2-pound rounding hammer. It has a rounding surface on this side and a flat surface on this side. This is a 4-pound hammer. And I use it to forge out the ricasso area. Okay, I have to hit it pretty hard, so that's the hammer I'll be using. This is a 3-pound hammer, and I will use it for doing some things for fine tuning on the ricasso if I have to, or my arm wears out and I don't want to sling the 4-pound hammer anymore. And this is a hammer that I'll be using to help me straighten the blade. This is called a flatter. It works really good for straightening the blade. So this is the hammers I'll be using, and I'll be using another tool or two along with this, and I'll get those all ready, and I'm fixing to start the forge. This is a tool that I'll be using to forge the ricasso in, and I'll place this in the hardy hole like this, put the blade underneath it where I want to set my ricasso, and then I'll strike it with a hammer here. This tool works pretty good for me. Okay, before I ever start the forge, like I said, I try to get everything done. So I got a 9-inch piece of steel here today. So I want the blade portion of this knife to be 4.5 to 5 inches when I get through. So what I do is I take a scale and then I mark 4.5 inches on here. And when I do that, I'll end up with a 4.5 to 5 inch blade. It's hot here today. It's about 90 degrees. So I've got my water with you. So when you're forging, it's very important to stay hydrated. So that's a good safety tip that I want to provide to everybody. Be sure to stay hydrated when you're around these forges. One of the things that I take very seriously when I'm forging a blade or anytime I'm in the shop is safety. If you'll notice, I'm wearing safety prescription glasses. I'm wearing all cotton clothes. Even my hat is cotton. And believe it or not, this hat is a safety item. It keeps hot slag and stuff out of your hair. I normally forge in a long sleeve shirt, but I don't have one today. And I'm also going to be using high top leather gloves. So be sure and be safe. Today I want to talk a little bit about the Anyang hammer. And the Anyang hammer is a great tool. I can't say enough good things about it. The controllability of this hammer is unreal. It beats anything that I've ever seen. Today I'm going to be using slight drawing dies, and that's what I use to forge all my blades with, is slight drawing dies. James Johnson is the distributor for North America for the Anyang hammers, and he is a great guy to do business with. I can't say enough good things about him. And this is my baby right here. It sure saves the shoulders, and it really speeds up production. So I can't say enough good things about it. I also got the 33-pound Anyang hammer, and the reason that I chose it, I would have loved to have a bigger hammer. I would love to have the 88, but our shop is in a residential area, okay? And so this hammer makes quite a bit of noise, but it's not near as loud as some of the bigger hammers. And this hammer does everything that I want it to do for light blacksmith work and bladesmith work. Okay, I've got the forge going. I've got the Anyang hammer warming up. I always try to start the Anyang hammer and let it warm up a little bit. As soon as I start the forge, the hammer works a lot better after it's warmed up for about 5 or 10 minutes. And so that's one of the things that I always do. I've got the oiler set right. It's very important to have the oil set right on these Anyang hammers. It really extends the life of them. Another thing is on one of these hammers is you never hit steel that's not red. So the steel needs to be red before you can hit it with a hammer. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is take the roundness off both edges of the bar by offsetting it just a little bit. And this is where this Anyang hammer comes into play, because it hits real soft. If I want it to hit soft, it hits soft. I want it to hit hard, it hit hard. That's all you need to do, just take that roundness off the edge. Now what I'm going to do is start to work on my distal taper. I do that first. That makes it a lot easier to forge the point out of the knife out. So I'm going to start to work on the distal taper. I got my distal taper started, looking really good. So now I'm fixing to forge the point. That's about as far as I'm going to take the point. That's about as far as I'm going to take the point. Now I'm fixing to start setting my plunge line. You notice I pulled a little raised area right there. That's where my plunge line's going to be. bit. Now I'm looking at the blade to make sure the taper is the same on both sides. To put a little more distal taper into the blade. Where I put the Central Ricasso area in. Now I'm going to start working out the tank. Okay, you can see where I'm going with this. I'll just finish this up.